Please buy the new book by Erika Nicole Moore, Diabolical Tales of Woe. Diabolical Tales of Woe is a thrilling collection of short horror stories that leave you in an excited trepidation to see what will happen next. Prepare to face one horrific encounter after the next in this captivating novel. You can find this book on Amazon in the Kindle and paperback version. That is Diabolical Tales of Woe by Erika Nicole Moore.
Moments matter. Make them timeless. For every celebration, every milestone, and every special moment, make it timeless with the rich, velvety, smooth taste of Timeless Vodka. Make sure you check them out at www.timelessvodka.com.
I got to kick this thing off. Yeah. Can I kick it off? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Conversate with Us presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that relate to the black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% black all the time. Please follow the show on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also find the show on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, basically anywhere you find your podcast. Please share the show and make sure you use the hashtag ManListen. I'm your host, Marv B. We'll start off with introducing the crew. C, what's up with you?
Hey, what's good?
Doing good, doing good. Live broadcast. Erika, our individual, what's up with you?
I keep getting called out on these interview broadcasts. What's up, everybody?
Doing good. And last but not least, Lab, what's up, brother?
What's going on? What's going on?
Doing good, doing good. So, today we wanted to talk about Quarantine 2020. The last few shows that we've done, they were about COVID-19 and the effect that it has on the black community. We had Dr. Shanae Davis talking about health and how you can keep yourself from contracting the virus and the disease that ensues afterwards. We had Christina Slaughter-Jones on the show to talk about keeping your mental health correct during this pandemic, during this quarantine. And then we had Mr. Armand Kroom on from the Financial Effect to talk about how to keep your finances in order during this quarantine. Well, we wanted to lighten it up a little bit and just talk about what's going on with the quarantine and how it's been affecting us as a crew. This is the first time we did a show with just the four of us and no guests in 5 shows or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it really has.
So, we wanted to talk about five things that we have learned from Quarantine 2020. Y'all ready to get into it?
Let's go. Let's go.
Number five. Black people will barbecue every day of the week if they're able to. This is in no order.
Yeah.
Every day.
I'm like, man, y'all really every day you put new charcoal in that grill every single day and just going to, I'm like, man, y'all got a lot of time on your hands. And I guess I would be doing that too, but I ain't got a charcoal grill. Well, I got a little one, but not.
You don't have a gas grill though, right?
No, I'm not.
I'm about to say they're going to throw you out the city.
Yeah.
The gas is easy.
The gas is easy to do every day.
That's like eating out the oven. That's not barbecue.
It is. It's not barbecue. I think I've told y'all the story, but I'll tell it one time on the show. My uncle one time was barbecuing in the middle of winter. It was snowing, probably 10 degrees, and there's some people that moved from Northeast in his neighborhood, and they saw the smoke coming from behind his house, and they actually called the fire department. I guess they figured that was better than walking over there to actually see if something was on fire. But, they didn't understand it. So, yeah, I think with all of us hailing from Kansas and Missouri, we kind of know how it goes anyway.
They
Oh
followed
yeah.
the rule, mind your business. Mind your business. They called the police, but they wasn't about to go over there and see what
They
was.
wasn't.
Nah,
I
nah.
actually,
Right.
I actually have a Traeger, and it uses the wood pellets.
Okay.
It's not like gas, but it is like ease of use because you just plugging it in and you making sure the temperature is right, and you can walk
Yeah.
away and leave it. You know, when you're using the briquettes, that charcoal, you got to monitor
You
that.
gotta babysit it, boy.
No, I
Right.
don't. I don't. I love to
I
barbecue.
don't
I
either.
barbecue all the time. I'm the main one that barbecues in our house. Put my food on there because especially if I'm just cooking for dinner and I'm not making like a whole barbecue trays and trays of food. Man, I go to the butcher, get one rack worth of food. Maybe the other day I made chicken on this side, salmon on this side. Put it on
Nice.
there. Set my timer on my stove. Come back out. Is it done?
All right.
So man,
Yeah, she
I saw. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some pictures and I got some interesting recipes. I saw a brother put crab legs on the grill. I had never seen that.
Really?
And
Man,
never
you
he
can
seen that
barbecue
either.
anything. You know what I'm saying? Did he have it on foil though, or did he have it on the actual
Yeah.
grill?
no, it was actually like on one of those grill mat type deals. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but I was like, I'm gonna try that though. I'm gonna try that.
Oh,
He said
yeah.
get the king crab leg. So
Now, Arika said that she wasn't barbecuing the full meal. I don't have the ability to not barbecue for like 5 or 6 people. I just
Right.
Yeah.
thankfully I got like a 17-year-old son.
If you're gonna light the coals up, you might as well.
and that's why I'm saying it's just me and my
Yeah.
wife. So what I'm gonna do? You know, put 2 steaks on there, waste all the charcoal for 2 steaks or 4 burgers or
No,
something, you
make
know.
2 dinners.
Yeah.
So make some
Okay.
steaks and some salmon. And then the next day you can have like salmon omelets or salad or something. I
Salmon
don't know.
omelets. Okay, that sounds good
Yeah,
actually.
Man, I had that in
bro.
Memphis.
I was
Boy.
letting her make it when she said she went to the butcher, and then she talked about salmon and omelet.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
the salmon
The
omelet
butcher?
though. I don't know. Is that good?
it was good. And then the way he made it, he put just like a piece of salmon that was cooked so perfectly, like in the omelet, and then had just spinach and cheese. But it was so good. Like I hate Memphis. Period. I hate everything about it. Yeah, so I complained about it the whole time we went for gymnastics, and it was plenty to complain about. And then on our way out, we stopped at a restaurant, a random little restaurant, and got some food. I was like, man, this is the best food I've had in like 3 years.
Yeah, I don't like the barbecue in Memphis.
Mm-mm.
Nah,
No.
it don't fool with KC.
We had breakfast.
Nothing fools with KC. When you
No, not at all. Nothing.
become a
So, man,
barbecue snob.
Nah, yeah, I'm telling you,
yeah.
man. So my wife's from North Carolina.
Trash. I've been there, the Carolina
Boy,
barbecue.
oh
Trash.
my! First time I went there, and we went to this restaurant. It's called Smithfield Chicken and Barbecue. So I'm like, okay, we got fried chicken, we got barbecue, and so I get to the counter. I'm like, what kind of barbecue do y'all have? Like, what do y'all have? Like ribs? What is like? We got barbecue.
For them, it's just pork.
It's
Barbecue
just
pork.
pulled pork in a vinegar-based sauce. That's it. That's barbecue.
And they probably put coleslaw on the sandwich too, didn't they?
I ain't gonna lie. I've acquired that taste. I did
Oh.
I did one other like on New Year's Day. That's what I did. Is I did a pork butt, and chopped it real fine like they do there. Made the vinegar. It's just vinegar and brown sugar and little red pepper flakes.
You can tell Lab's the conservative part of the crew.
Yeah. Hopefully OG Ollie don't listen to this show. He gonna be so disappointed.
Hey man, it's an acquired taste, but I've come to like it honestly. So.
Moving on, number 4, the importance of self-care. Definitely found that out during this. I mean, there's a lot of us who going through this pandemic and the quarantine. Started off, it was okay. We was all drinking wine, and I think it hit everybody at a different time, but it hit everybody because I probably made it about 2.5 weeks, probably like that started that 3rd weekend. I was just like, I miss my friends, man. I gotta go somewhere. I'm calling cats, telling them, hey man, I love you, right?
For me, I'm still chilling. I think it's because my job is so stressful. Like more than one day a week, I have to be in multiple courts, sometimes all at 9 o'clock in the morning. So if I got to be in 3 courts all at 9 o'clock in the morning, I got to get up earlier so that I could try to be the first person in line at the first court, so I can be early and try to make it so that I can get to the last one. So I'm so used to my days being so busy. Now all I have to do is roll out of bed, log in, brush my teeth, sit down at this computer all day while I watch movies, bruh. No, I'm not complaining at all.
This is new for me having the camera on, because normally I've been meetings all day and everybody got the camera off. And then one day, you know, my manager was like, I want to see everybody. Let's see everybody. And I was just like, so I went and put on a decent shirt.
Right.
Then I had to get to a nondescript part of my house, you know, so nothing too crazy. And I was like, man, I ain't finna turn this camera on. And then he called us out. He said, all the dudes should turn their camera on. Don't nobody care what you look like. I understand the women.
You're like,
Yeah, I had to start getting into a routine, man, because even though I'm not, like, I still have to go in and go out in the field. I go Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I said I can do it 2 days a week. The other days I get up, I shower like I'm going to work, man, put on some fresh sweatpants and make some coffee, and then sit there at the table, because my wife, she's worked from home too, so she's usually back in the office computer room, whatever you want to call it. So I sit in the front room, and man, I knew I wasn't disciplined, but I really know I'm not disciplined now. Like, straight up, I'll sit there and watch. Ain't even no sports, but I'm watching Sports Center and First Take all day long.
They just making up topics to talk about.
Nothing to talk about.
Nothing.
So yeah,
I'm actually getting used to it now. Initially, it was hard for me, just because even if I didn't have anything to do or anywhere to go, it was hard for me not going anywhere. I don't know if it's because I'm a Sagittarius, if I'm an extrovert, whatever it is. Something was like the first 2 weeks not being able to go anywhere was really hard. But now that that virus has mutated so much, I'm good with staying in. I don't ever want to leave. But I mean, I am still having to go out to go to work every now and then, but it's not like a full schedule. Not having to wear business professional attire, so that's always a good thing. Throw on some Nikes and some sweats, and I'm good.
Hey, and I've been working out. I've been trying to work out twice a day, because I ain't worn no real pants in a while. It's just been sweats and gym shorts. So I mess around, and you try to put on when this stuff bounce back, you be like, man, these stuff don't fit.
Gotta go shopping.
Right. One meeting we were on video. I had on a jacket and a button-up shirt, and then had on some gym shorts on the bottom.
Oh yeah, always. Oh, for real. I don't even, like, if I put on a tie and a dress shirt, I don't even button all the buttons. I just button to the
He only ironed the front.
Okay. All right, you got me beat.
He's iron from the chest up.
You still don't even iron the back, because you iron the front.
You know,
I had court, and I couldn't even bring myself to do my hair. I put a scarf on. I was like, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you all the way black now. You ain't gotta come into the courtroom now." Yep.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Sweats.
Right.
I got on a nice shirt. I didn't even put on a suit or a suit jacket. I just put on a cardigan set. I felt like that was good enough.
Yeah.
And a scarf.
that leads us to number 3. We understood the importance of supporting small businesses, especially barbers, beauty salons, and your personal trainers.
Yeah.
We index high in those positions, you know, barbers and beauticians, and, you know, our brothers and sisters who try to keep us healthy, and they were impacted, you know, significantly by this, because people aren't trying to go to a gym where everybody's bodily fluids is dripping everywhere on the floor and touching everything, and it just wasn't a good idea. And I don't care how clean you keep it, you know, it's still a risk. It's still a risk. And I know that there's a lot of people who will go through any lengths to try to keep their patrons safe, but how do you really do it? And I thought about that, and these people they have to eat what they kill. And if they don't kill, they don't eat. So if the customer's not walking through the door, sitting in the chair, or coming in to work out, that money's not coming in. So and I just say this not to pat myself on the back, but my barber, my son's barber, my former barber who moved out of state, I send them all a love offering just because they take care of us and make sure that we look good. For us, Lav can chime in on this. When you're talking with your barber, that's almost like a counseling session. You got
Man, it is therapy, man.
You're able to share information. So to know that they potentially are going through it, and I'm still blessed to be able to provide for mine. I'm not out spending money, and I would have been paying them anyway. So let me go ahead and shoot them that love. So what do y'all think about that?
I agree. I sent my son's barber some money, and then I had actually just got my hair done like right before, the shelter in place. So I haven't sent my loctician who does my locks anything. But like you said, even with the gyms and the personal trainers, I actually went to like a large gym, but my friend back home who I would be going to if I still lived in Kansas City, he has his own gym. So I shot him something last month, and of course I'm gonna shoot him something this month.
Yeah.
Just to kind of help out.
And that's a mutual friend. That's a mutual friend of ours.
Friend.
And I sent him a love offering too. A lot of people trainers that I work with, they're doing virtual training where people are logging into Zoom or logging into Facebook Live and sending so that you're still getting a service for your dollars. But
right.
Barbers and beauticians is just, massage therapists is just not possible.
Yeah.
They opening back up in Georgia this Friday though, so
Don't do it.
That's the okey doke. Isn't that the okey doke though? Like
it is. It
we're
really
gonna open
is.
up bowling alleys, barbershops, beauty salons, and gyms. Okay. So you're gonna open up in Georgia where you got a bunch of think about Atlanta. Think about it. So bowling balls, the only thing you do is touch stuff. That's
exactly.
Gym.
All they do is spray them shoes.
Right. They spray the shoes. They ain't spraying the ball. And then you got barbers and the beauticians. And you population control is real, y'all.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's real.
But
it is.
I was not only, we talk about our self-care, like our barbers, our beauticians, but man, I really started thinking about like your grocery store workers and your fast food workers. Like the times I have gone to the grocery store, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't know if they don't give the people PPE. If they think that little plexiglass partition is enough, but they're not equipping these people.
No.
And then we got a lot of people who are like, no, you shouldn't why do you need to make $10 an hour, let alone $15 an hour? I'm hoping at the end of all this that there's kind of like a reevaluation of stuff, and people are like, you know what, maybe they do deserve a little more money. Maybe I'm not going to go out and pick it against them making $15 an hour.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough. But, what I was proud to see was Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms in Atlanta. She said, despite what Kim said, we need y'all to stay at home.
Yeah.
We need y'all to stay at home. And
what was that acronym?
Yeah. It was throwing me off, just because I'm not in Georgia, so that 1K was throwing me off. I was like, I can figure everything out, but what is this? And then somebody said Kent, but I was like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah, that was what Kent says. But the one that we actually posted on the Instagram, make sure y'all follow us on @Millicent Show on Instagram.
Yeah,
it's KYBAAH. Keep your back at home. So
bottom line, period, as the kids say. Right.
Number 2, right? Binge watching.
Yeah, I can't do it.
What you mean you can't do it?
I done tried to. Everybody's like, get on Ozark, watch Tiger King.
Ozark's tight. Ozark's tight though.
I can only do one episode, maybe 2 episodes a night, maybe. I can't do 5 episodes a day, man. I can't do that. 6 episodes in a row.
I can't do it in a row, but I definitely could do like 2, maybe 3 in one setting, then go do something else, and then come back later that day and do 2 or 3 more. Absolutely.
Oh no, not that day. The next day, maybe.
Nah,
I don't know. I just like the old school 1 episode a week. So I've been watching Little Fires Everywhere on Hulu with Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon. That's pretty cool.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it's
based off a book, I think.
Yeah, it's based on a book, and it kind of drew me in because it's based in Shaker Heights, Ohio, in like '97. So all my fam is from Cleveland, Ohio. My cousins literally graduated high school with the girl that wrote the book. So I was in Shaker Heights around that time, So it drew me in that way. But it's a lot having to do with class and race and parenting. It's pretty layered, but yeah, I like the show.
I'm gonna check it out.
I guess I'm different.
I'm on
You didn't like it?
Well, I haven't tried it, but I'll sit up here. I mean, when I work 7 to 7 and I'm sitting in this chair for 12 hours, yes, I'm watching. And I like to watch movies. So, like one day I was like, today I shall watch all of the Lethal Weapons.
What is it, 4? You watched like all 4?
But you know what?
I mean, in 12 hours, I'm sitting in this chair for 12 hours.
Right.
But
man.
The thing about it is, though, Arika, what you sound a lot like, my wife, because she'll watch TV all day, but a lot of it is just like background noise.
Yeah.
And she makes sure that she watches things that she doesn't really have to pay attention to. So if
Yeah,
you're watching
seen
something
before.
like Ozark or something where it might be a plot twist and you got to watch for the details, because like I was taking offense to it. Like you turn on the Netflix and you'd be like, man, you already watched this? You watched it without me? And she's like, no, go ahead and put it on because I wasn't really paying attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you actually can watch it again. I think like reality TV, that's something that you can kind of work and just let it be in the background because you really don't want to. You want that stuff to go in and out the other ear. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
you want it to go off the air.
Right.
Right.
I don't have to think about. I'm not trying to pay attention. It's not distracting me. I can look up and laugh because I already know what's happening and look back to what I'm doing.
Right.
That's true.
So moving on to number 1, and this is probably the most important, making sure that we do not take each other for granted.
Yeah.
I'll speak for myself. I have 2 elderly aunts that are back home in Topeka. One whose health isn't the best, and one who is battling a form of dementia. And I kept putting off going back to visit. I was like, man, I'll go next week or I'll go next month. And now I don't have the opportunity to visit them because it's not safe for me to go there. I do have a little bit of regret because of that. But I've learned that everything that we can't do now to absolutely savor it, appreciate it, and live the day like it's going to be the last. I mean, we're fortunate. We talked about it. We talked about working from home, able to keep our family safe. But, I would pay a pretty penny to be back in California, right where I was before the lockdown, on the beach with my wife, just watching the sunset and just enjoying life. So not taking anything for granted.
Yeah, I think that I'm glad that I decided a couple months ago, like I kind of had a conversation with myself. I'm like, yes, you're busy. Yes, you have a lot going on, but they put my grandmother in a home on my street for a reason. And it's because like I can literally stop by that. She's like, 3 lights away. And so for me to be too busy to stop when she's like 3 lights away, I was like that guilt was starting to eat at me. So I was like, I read this book called Habit Stacking. Habit stacking is like if you already have habits and then you try to just work another habit in, like something that you wish you were doing, try to put it in between a habit that you already have going. It makes it easier to make it just part of the routine. And so what I started doing is I have to leave work early on Fridays where I used to. It's early enough that it's not too late for me to stop by. So I would go see my grandma every Friday. So then she would be like, I'd be like, it's our day, Grandma. She'd be like, why is it our day? I was like, because I come every Friday. She's like, you do? And some days she would know who I was and some days she wouldn't because she also has dementia. So some days she'd be like, when'd you start driving? I'd be like, it's been a little while, Grandma.
And it's tough with that because my aunt, we started seeing the signs, and there's a lot of it in my family. So it's sort of scary because out of my mom's 13 brothers and sisters, a few of them passed away early, but the ones that are alive, like 4 are battling dementia. So 4 out of 13, that's not really good odds. Now I got a bunch of first cousins, so hopefully it skips over me, but there's times where you'll talk, for real, I love you, cuz. But I don't want that mess. But there's times with my favorite aunt, my Aunt Mary Lou, you will talk to her, and Ricky, you might vouch for this, and you might have that old person that you grew up with, and you'll have them for maybe 5-7 minutes, and then that clock will reset, and they'll be like, now who are you again? and it's just like, it's heartbreaking. And that's part of the reason why I put off going back, because I was scared of that and I punked out. And now I wish I'd have just manned up and soldiered through it. But it is what it is.
I wouldn't say that you punked out. It's really hard to see people that you looked up to and that you love not doing their best, because that kind of reminds us of not only their mortality but our mortality, and that makes people nervous. So I wouldn't say that you punked out. It's just life. Life is hard.
Well, and not to make the show doom and gloom, but I went with that with my dad when he passed away. He battled cancer and, was on the brink of death. And my uncles, my brothers, cousins, they all came, and all grown men broke down in tears, because this was the patriarch of our family. He took care of he was my dad, but he was everybody's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And to see him like that, they couldn't handle it. And I'm junior, so I had to be there. So it's kind of one of those things that scarred me. I don't want to see it again. I had to do it with him,
Right.
and Lord willing, I don't, my wife and my children stay healthy, because I'd have to do it for them. But anybody else, like I did my deed. You know what I'm saying? But definitely don't take people for granted.
Same thing. I said I was going to start going back more and just visiting my dad and keeping in touch with friends and family. Because even though like you can't really go anywhere, but it's making me like reach out via text to more people,
Yeah.
family and friends, just saying, hey, how's it going? What are you up to? And I wasn't doing that before.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Definitely, I've been in contact with people I haven't been in contact with in years.
Right.
Yeah.
Fraternity brothers, Zoom meetings, and
Right.
people that you meet through social media, different happy hours that people have been hosting, and you get a chance to talk, and they have different games that you play. And
Yeah.
I really think that this is going to change things, though, because I'm a traveling salesman, and all the business travel, the face to face, and all the things that we used to do, they might change. It
Right.
might change, even if they do come up with a cure that brings us back to somewhat of a normal existence, at least what we're used to. I don't know if we're just going to be traveling like we used to.
I
And
think
not only,
eventually we'll be back to normal. It just may take a while.
Yeah.
and I think businesses will be like, you know what, we were able to function with more virtual meetings and stuff, and it saves them money.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I agree. I think to some extent we won't ever get back to how we were pre COVID-19. And that I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. There are certain things, sometimes we just get nostalgic. We're hesitant or we're resistant to change. And even though it may be for the better, may make more sense to do things like certain stuff we should have been doing, but we just were stuck in our habits, and old habits die hard. So like I said, I think it's going to change a lot too.
Hopefully the anti-vaxxers will shut up, though. I think
Man,
proof
that's
you
another
take your
thing.
vaccine.
Man, that's
Why?
another thing about
Why wouldn't you? Like you? So if they came out with a vaccine for COVID-19, you wouldn't take it?
No.
Why not? You don't want them good microchips?
I don't want
I've
none of
never
it.
I've never had the flu vacine.
No, and I
no,
would
the
never
flu
have
is
it.
different though. That's like polio
Is
though.
it?
Polio. You took a polio vaccine. I mean, it's.
I didn't have a choice.
Right. No,
Well,
that's what I'm saying. So it's
I
way
don't get. I don't
more.
get the fear over the flu vaccine. I don't.
so if it's just as far as the COVID-19 vaccine, they don't even know enough about the virus yet to
No.
create a
Mhm.
vaccine. So maybe 4 or 5 years from now, after I'm not gonna be like, the one that runs out and gets a vaccine for something I don't have when I might not even be a carrier. And then all of a sudden I'm watching TV. If you or your loved ones have had this, or death, please call 1-866 for no.
Right.
Like they don't know enough about it yet.
Right.
The thing what
I
they
feel
need to
you on
do
that.
is just get enough tests. Everybody needs to be tested.
You mean a
To me,
vaccine?
it kind of goes hand in hand with the don't take people for granted, because in this situation, you saying your grandmothers or aunts or whatever are in homes or whatever. My grandmother lives with my parents. So my wife, working inside a pharmacy, undoubtedly she's came in contact with people who probably had COVID-19. And so I haven't went over there to see my grandma, because I know she's almost 90 now. She's already having some kind of health issues. And so when I say not taking people for granted, that means quit being selfish too, you know. And so to me, that's what the vaccine represents is, right, I might not have it, but what if I do and don't have it and don't know I have it, basically, you know. So that's the only reason I'm in favor of the vaccine.
Yeah.
I don't think they're intelligent enough for that vaccine quite yet.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, it has to be tested, you know, but it'll be tested on us anyway, the Africans, right?
I hope not. But even with the flu, like, you know, I know Marv was like, what do you have against the flu? I've never had the flu, so I just don't think there's a need for me to take the shot. And even like, you know, at my employer, like all of our offices, they bring in all these people to get the flu shots. And every year there's several of them that are either sick right after they get the flu shot or they end up getting the flu. And I'm good. I haven't ever called in sick.
I've never taken a flu shot either. Full disclosure.
I'll take the flu shot. And the reason why, I've talked to health professionals who I trust who have melanin, and they'll tell you that the flu shot does not keep you from getting the flu. What it does keeps you from dying from the flu, because you can actually die from the flu, and a lot of people die from the flu. So
Trump said, yeah, that's what Trump said.
Yeah, you can. Like,
oh, please don't quote him.
Don't quote him. Not on this show. Yeah. No, you didn't.
I'm Team Fossey.
So yeah, that's why I do it. But I do understand the trepidation and the fear that everybody has, because we have been the test dummies. We have been the failure for America to keep America going. I mean, they've, you know, put us in places where environmentally our health was put at risk. They have abused us medically through testing different things on us, taking our organs, leaving us untreated, like in the Tuskegee experiment in Alabama. You know, it's a problem. So I understand everybody's fear. There's a good book about this called Medical Apartheid. And it talks about how we've basically been, you know, the lab rats for white supremacy. So I definitely think everybody should read that and just empower yourself. So when you talk to a medical professional, know that you have rights, and you can, you know, just because they have a MD, and just because, you know, they may not have melanin, they aren't an authority over you. They work for you, and you have rights. So that might be something we talk about on another show.
Because my reason is totally different.
What's your reason?
What's your reason?
I believe in survival of the fittest, and I think overpopulation is probably a problem. Somebody challenged me on that. I got a book I'm supposed to read. What is it, Slum City or something like that?
So are you sacrificing yourself then? Is that why you're saying you're not getting the vaccine?
Not myself, I mean, but
natural selection, right?
Yeah.
But you want to be part of that selection?
I mean,
I
just feel like I can wing it.
She's gonna survive, is what she's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or I mean, I don't know.
Not. Yeah, or not.
or not.
I mean, it's not for. I feel like that if we were taking better care of the earth, it wouldn't be doing so much better with all of us staying in the house. And you know me,
right.
I'm a witch, so I care about the earth and its well-being. So I feel like all of the smog and pollution and everything that's being limited by all of these people staying in the house and not making it. I mean, it's better for the earth overall that we plan to give to our children. I don't want to stay here forever and suck up all the resources. So by the time I give it to them, it's nothing left.
Yeah, I did see pictures of LA, like how the overcast was different.
I'm team F them kids. I'm a
you better get in where you fit in.
Figure it out, homie. Figure it out.
No,
you gonna get the life insurance. You get the life insurance, so you can.
Oh my god.
No, people used to die at 30. Now people are dying. My grandma is 98.
Yeah.
People used to die at 30.
Well, I mean, I think it just kind of depends on. So, like, you know, you guys know, I don't want to get too dark with the show either, but like breast cancer runs in my family. So if you take like my maternal like lineage all the way up, my mom lived the longest with breast cancer at 50. So if I lived just to be 51, I'll pass her. And then, you know, we got my grandmother, great-grandmother, and great-great. They've all died of breast cancer. So, I mean, I just think stuff happens. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to stress about it. It is what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
It is what it is. So, but on that note, probably go ahead and wrap it up. We appreciate y'all checking us out on our first live broadcast. Actually, our second live broadcast.
Yeah, second.
Mm-hmm. Second one. So we're just kind of feeling it out, you know, trying to add a new layer, new dimensions to the show, giving you a better glimpse of us, and because we know people have been dealing with this in different ways and been stressed, and we wanted to try to take your mind off of it. So make sure you follow us on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Man Listen Show. And make sure you subscribe to the show on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere else that you can find your podcast. We'll holler at you next time. Peace.
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 Be safe.